Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and I'm actually back for a boosted account video update. I know that I missed this past Saturday. I want to apologize for that. Obviously, I've been away on holidays, so I do want to get back to it. And oh my god, when are they going to fix this hashtag Thor? I swear to Galactus that this has been here since I started this account, and it still bothers me, especially when I look at it when I'm starting to record a video. But in today's video, I want to basically do a little bit of an overview. You know, I am level 89. I'm going to be almost level 90. I want to talk about my Dark Dimension journey because I am going through Dark Dimension 5. But I also want to talk about the struggles of, I guess, the boosted account experience in terms of certain bottlenecks. There's not very many in my opinion, but I think that there's a few that I do want to talk about and how I'm kind of overcoming those challenges. So, if you're ready to go, everybody, then let's boil this down. Now, first off, I do want to say that I am, as of recording this video, we're on day 66. So we're just over 2 months. So if I had done a video last weekend, it probably would have been the 2-month mark. So that's not too bad. So that's pretty much where I expected. Now, I have been coring a little bit, not so much anymore, but I was previously coring a lot more. And so in terms of like how fast it would take to get to level 90, I think you're probably looking at about 75 days now. Because keep in mind that I did get my, I don't know, to like level 70 or so was like the old boost, which was actually a lot higher than the current boost, which is like 60% per level. So I was getting a little bit more previously before it changed over the next time. So just to keep people aware about that. Now, in terms of my Dark Dimension progress, I am making my way through Dark Dimension 5. I cleared Dark Dimension 4 a little while ago, probably before my last video. And obviously Dark Dimension 6 is still a ways out. But I'm currently sitting at the city section. However, I do have G16s on a handful of other characters. This is where I'm currently sitting at right now. I'm mostly doing Hive Mind and Spider Society characters. But the problem is obviously, if you look at my other characters down here, that Carnage and Venom share alien spores. They also require... The minis actually isn't that big of a problem, to be honest. I'll show you when I get to my roster. It's really just the unique. So I actually recently upgraded Spider-Man Pavitra to 85 because that he's titanium. He's titanium alloy. And what I found is that it's really good to kind of utilize the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass and the Strike Pass, because you're getting all of these augmented uniques for characters that you may or may not need, like depends. So I've been using the Hammer Tech, for example, towards Red Goblin, which is based on, but he's going to be the best character that you're going to want to raise because of Hive Mind anyways. I think, do they give away uniques for both characters? I think they might, because I know that Iron Patriot is titanium alloy. Yeah, so I've been using the titanium alloy from here, from the Battle Pass, to put on Pavitra. And I'm probably going to end up putting it on Doc Ock as well for the legendary section when we get there. So I'm not exactly putting it towards the characters that are in the pass, but I am still making use of that unique. And you get quite a bit of them over 2 weeks, which is probably faster than you can do with buying them. As far as leader goes, I don't really have, when we get to the teal section, I guess it's up here, right? I think they give away the uniques as well. I don't really have, I don't know who this is. I have a lot of this. I'm not sure who it's going to go to. I might end up putting it towards Rescue, but I'm kind of using a lot of Extreme X-Men right now. So this might not get used as much as some of the other ones. But for the previous Strike Passes, like for the, I believe it was Cosmic Ghost Rider and some of the other ones, you know, I was utilizing it quite well for the augmented uniques, because really it's a slow grind. You know, you have the, right now there's the shiny coin store, so I am kind of taking a look at whenever there's some decent ones in here. I don't really want to buy Vibranium, but I do keep an eye out because that is a really good way. And for future event stores, always a good way to get teal uniques for people around this level, like early and mid gamers. Other than that though, I'm really reliant on just buying it in the supply store. And I am buying ones when I think that I need it. Like I don't know how many of these I'm going to need. So I probably should be buying it actually, because I know that you need 65 per character to get to G18, so I probably should be buying it anyways. But this is the fastest way, but it's still pretty slow, because I'm just not raiding in the top, you know, incursion raids where I'm getting a crap ton of teal gear orbs. So it's still kind of a little bit slow on that front. Now, what I really do love is that they did add a permanent slot for the blue ability material and the purple ability material. This is a really good player-friendly change. So every single refresh, you can get 50 of these, which is 150 per day. And that's a huge increase on top of the raids that you're already doing. So I really like that, and I'm glad that they decided to do that. But outside of this, you can't get teal uniques in the raid store. So really, it's just the war store, where actually I should be buying that. Yeah, that's for Black Knight. So buying that one, but that's like, so there's a couple that you can buy, but obviously war credits is very finite. Like you only get so many war credits per week, and you know, I'm still buying forge shards, so it's tough. It's really tough to use your war credits on teal uniques because you're not. I'd rather put it on the forge shards, to be honest. But most of these I don't need anyways. And so the only other place beyond that is the Cosmic Crucible store, which you can use the regular credits, which I do, but I don't need like Luminium. So there's only one slot to buy teal uniques for the Crucible credits, and that's a little bit of a pain in the ass. But you can see here, I have a pretty good amount of G16s, and even G17s is up here. I have a decent amount of those as well. G18s not so much, but at least G16 and 17s because I have the armory orbs and whatnot that I've been opening. So that's been pretty good so far. And so that's like the biggest bottleneck that I have between now and level 90. I was gonna say 95, but level 90. Between now and level 90, it's really just the teal uniques. And so this is kind of like my roster and what I'm thinking of doing. But as you can see, like I would love to put Carnage as my 5th character for Dark Dimension City. But I just, you know, between Void Knight, Venom, and Carnage, there's so much Alien Spore. So I have to just kind of go with what I have. And that's kind of how I'm building. But I am making sure that I'm building the characters that I'm obviously going to use, right? And this is still the raid teams, right? I made this video, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I said raid teams is all you need. And it really is, because I'm using them everywhere. I'm using them in PvP. I'm using them in Crucible, Alliance War, you know, raids. That even Arena, to be honest, I'm still using a combination of Void Knight, Extreme X-Men, and Black Knight, and most of those are raid characters. So that's just how my roster is still developing. As far as my 5th character, I might end up taking Spider-Man Noir. Again, he's part of Spider Society, and I think I do have teal ballistic weaves, so I think that's probably what I might end up doing. And really, I'm just at the mercy of teal uniques. So as far as what characters I'm building for for Dark Dimension, it's still going to be these raid characters, right? These top raid characters on my roster. You can see that I already took Kestrel to G16, so that's fine. So as far as who I'm taking into Cosmic, you know, it's like Kestrel, Vol, who I do have the Osmium now for 16. It's going to suck when I get to 17, though, but at least I'll have to do Vol for now. And Void Knight, and I'm going to do the Eternals to 16 as well. I think I actually have the teals for them, the uniques for them. I just need to get them to 85, and I'm good to go. And then when I get to the legendary lane, that's probably going to be the most difficult because I do need a solid 5 characters. So I'm not entirely sure. I'll probably, because I do have Doc Ock and Green Goblin, Archangel, Morgan Le Fay. These are the 4 that I use for DD4. I might take Omega Red up. I'm trying to get Black Cat unlocked. This one's being a little bit more challenging than usual. So what I would recommend, because I think that Green Goblin is so much easier to do. And I think I mentioned it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was talking about this originally. My personal thing that you should do is, as you get higher level, and because I couldn't beat this anyways, I need to level up my Sinister 6 more. So I recommend doing a difficulty 10 run, doing, you know, putting on the packs and whatnot. You could probably actually get rid of some of the packs if you want. But you basically need to be strong enough to survive. So if you do the first 2 nodes, you'll get about 600,000, which will give you about, I believe, maybe a 4-star, 3-star, 4-star. And you can use Extreme X-Men on the first node, and it's the second node where you need a Sinister 6 team. So you need Green Goblin Classic. You probably need to build your Sinister 6 to about G15, 16, I think, to survive on D10. So that's something that you'll do later on, and which I haven't quite done yet. My Doc Ock and Green Goblin are at 80 G15, but they're not quite there, and the rest of the team kind of needs to be up as well. The problem that I'm having is that I'm just not doing enough. My damage stat is just not high enough to actually damage them well. My guys are actually hitting very low against their armor stat, so that's the biggest problem that I'm having right now. But if you can do the first 2 nodes, that's probably the easiest way to unlock Black Cat, because the rest of the nodes suck. Mystic Villains suck, Global Controller sucks, Brawler's okay, but honestly the rest of the nodes are garbage. And I don't really want to level these Mystic Villains or Global Controllers right now. Like, I don't want to go out of my way to do that. And then that leads me into I guess the question that probably a lot of people are asking me or going to ask me is, am I doing Apocalypse? And the answer is no. I'm not right now. I may do it after I beat Dark Dimension 6. The biggest problem when it comes to Apocalypse is actually how many ions you need. So I have 10 million blue 4 ions. I have 4 million blue 5 ions. I don't have my spreadsheet because I'm away on holidays, but I'm almost certain that you need somewhere around 20. I want to say 20 million blue 4s because you do get some back from doing the Apocalypse Saga from the nodes and whatnot. So I think it's a total of like 20-ish blue 4 for baby Apocalypse, and then you need like up to 30. I think 30 million blue 5 ions. I'm not sure the exact number, but it's a lot, and I'm nowhere near that. So that's why I'm not really thinking about it. I don't want to spend my training modules, which I am crunched actually on training modules. I have more gold than training modules. And so I don't want to go out of my way to upgrade any of the other teams, the teams for the Horsemen, because most of them are obsolete for these kinds of accounts. So I do have a handful of characters that will be used for that. You know, Archangel, Morgan Le Fay, Spider Weaver, Kestrel. So I have like maybe like 4 or 5 of the characters. But the rest of them, I just have no desire to really upgrade at this point. So I guess my goal is that I'm going to clear Dark Dimension 6. I'm going to unlock Super Scroll. And I'm going to go from there, I guess, and see kind of where my roster lands. But I'm not going out of my way to just streamline into Apocalypse, because if I do that, I'm not going to have all of my other raid characters leveled up for me to be able to use. And I think that's the most important, is kind of being in a proper raid alliance where you're getting the most bang for your buck in terms of your rewards and being able to walk away with those daily raid rewards, honestly. So our alliance is currently we're actually at Doom 2.2 now. So we've made some progression. I think the last time I made a video, we were on Doom 1 maybe. And so we finally made into that. We're making some inroads, and hopefully we get to Doom 2.3 pretty soon. As far as Doom 3, we might actually be able to do that, because I don't think there's a big difference between Doom 2 and Doom 3. Honestly, I think it's not that much harder. So we're probably just a matter of time before we can do that, because we're fighting enemy. I think it more depends on the lanes, right? Like Mystic kind of sucks right now because we're kind of waiting for the next Mystic raid team, but it's not quite yet. It's probably not for another 2 months, 2-3 months, maybe more. So that's a bit of a problem. But if we all went like left and we went skill with Spider Society, Hive Mind, and then tech with the Pegasus, and then Mystic. So Mystic is the 4th lane, unfortunately. So we're still going to need to consider that, and the enemies are in like the 150k range. I think it's possible, but I think you'd probably want to use Dormammu. I'm trying to use like a combination Mystic raid team that does not require me to level Bifrost, which in my opinion is a little bit of a dead team for accounts of this size. So that's going to be the biggest problem, I think, for a lot of people in the mid game, in the early and mid game, is making a proper Mystic raid team. And I think I'm going to be using that surrounding Vol in the Eternals, and then Deathpool, and because Deathpool's getting a rework, right, for Mercs for Money, so that's extra stats for Deathpool, and maybe Morgan Le Fay, but then Dormammu probably once I unlock Dormammu after beating Dark Dimension 5. So I think that because you'll have to use Dormammu for Dark Dimension 7 later on anyway, so it's not a huge waste. So I think that's kind of my plan right now as far as my Mystic characters, because I thought about Doom, but I just don't really want to go out of my... Doom is not good for stimming, so I don't really want to go out of my way too much, but obviously the basis of the team is going to be Vol. I don't think Spider Weaver does that well in raids because of the cooldowns and single target damage. So I think Vol, Icarus, Cersei, Deathpool, and Morgan Le Fay is probably your best bet for raiding for Mystic raids at the lower end. And I think that'll do me until Incursion, because I believe that Bifrost actually came out around the Incursion 1 era, I want to say. So I think that should be fine until then. So that's just currently how I'm doing. I'm kind of floating around the top 50 in Arena as well. Nothing too crazy there, but I just wanted to let people know and give people a little bit of an update on this account, because I am still playing it every single day. I'm having a lot of fun. Actually, in my opinion, I think that the new player experience is a little bit better than the end game experience, actually. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my Stark tech, because I don't think I actually did this in any of my other videos, and I have had people asking me about this. I want to show you guys what I've been doing with my Stark tech. So I've been primarily focusing on Mutant. So now I have pretty much a Mutant maxed out because I use Extreme X-Men to the moon. The rest of them after that, I kind of did a little bit of a balanced approach, but I'm mostly focusing on health and damage first. So I have about like 11 to 12%. Bio actually have a little bit more, so 14 and 15% here on health and damage. Mystic is 12 and 13%. Skill 19. And I do want to let people know that the way that the way that dual traits work. especially for Spider Society, it takes actually the highest of the two. So if they're dual traded, it takes whatever star tech is the highest. So do keep that in mind when you're trying to build up your characters and thinking about which star tech you want to build. I would basically just put it into whatever is your highest team or you think that you're going to be using a lot. And for me, that was Extreme X-Men, and they still are. They're a big part of my arena team, and they're a big part of my Cosmic Crucible, which, by the way, is still holding very strong. I mentioned in my last video, I believe, as well, that I just did for Cosmic Crucible. This is like, I don't know, my 4th week of Cosmic Crucible. I've been winning solely on the basis of my one defense team. I'm probably getting to the point where I could put a second defense team up now, but I do want to have more offense than defense so I can make sure I full clear them, and if they fail to full clear me, then I always win. And that's basically what I'm banking on, is that they fuck up against my Extreme X-Men Black Knight, which they have been doing a lot in Cosmic Crucible. So I'm still running the same method, and I'm in Silver 1. That's not too bad. I'm slowly going up, so it's getting a bit slower now, but obviously we'll see week on week. Anyways, that's, I think, everything for this update video, and I hope that some of this was helpful. Let me know in the comments down below what I should touch on next time, and if there's anything that I missed that you'd like to know. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone, and until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon, signing out.